It's been a secret for a while.
Got a new riff going on, man.
I see. That's
Okay,
good.
we're
That's
live.
good.
Makes me
Not
sad.
now.
Why? It's money?
Oh my God.
It ain't cheap.
Sorry.
I was thinking about what
26 years old, and not any problems yet.
I hit everything.
Yeah. All right, good evening, everyone. I have 6 o'clock. I'd like to call the Warsaw Town Council in session. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Y'all be seated. Council, you have in your packet, have in front of you your packet, and we have the consent agenda. I trust you've all looked at that. I'll entertain any suggested edits or a motion to approve.
Move you approve the consent agenda as presented.
We have a motion to approve. Do we have a second?
I got.
All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay, we got ourselves a meeting. Council, the next thing on the agenda is pretty self-evident. You can read it there. It's remembering our friend, our colleague, Ms. Rebecca Hubert. And so, what I'd like to do, it's okay with council, is I'll kick it off. There's a few things I'd probably like to say, and then we'll just open up the floor. We'll do that. Does that sound okay? All right. So, I know Rebecca pretty well. Probably known her about 20 years. Worked with her in the community on different things. I hired her at the bank years ago, of course, council stuff. So, I think it's okay to have some tears. I think it's okay to do those hugs, right? And it's okay to be sad. I think at some point, though, we have to move past the sad and get into some things that, you know, Rebecca loved and what she was all about. So, if you'll indulge me just a bit longer, when I think of Rebecca, and I'm going to laugh a couple times, so I'll probably have tears in. I think of 3 Rebeccas, 3 personas. There's Miss Rebecca Hubert, the banker. There's the Honorable Rebecca Coggin Hubert, the council lady. And of course, there's Rebecca, the person, the family person she was. So, you know, when I think about her at the bank, she loved being a banker. And she was smart. She understood banking laws. Lords, the many times she'd call me up and say, Randy, please don't do that. You're going to go to jail. I said, well, thank you. So she loved wowing the customer. She really did. She was old-fashioned community banker. You came in the branch and you customer, she wanted to shake your hand. She wanted to press the flesh, right? She wanted to get to know you. And we would tease her because sometimes customers would come in, they'd be kind of sneaky, but she would still shake that hand. So we'd always laugh at her about that. But she really did believe that giving the customer what they needed is what she needed to do. And she loved growing her little branch. There's no trade secrets. This year alone, she's grown the deposit assets over $2 million this year alone in Warsaw. And that's by new business coming in, that's by people moving money from other banks, but doing it because of Rebecca. They like her. And she loved her people. She was all the time, she would come review time, she would fuss at me right to the nose. But you've got to do enough raises. And so she would step up for folks. So she was a very good community banker. And then I think about Rebecca, the council lady, public servant, deep in her family roots. Her father was out into a lot of things. Of course, he owned the paper. He was, I can't remember the branch of service, but he was a fighter pilot at some point. And she was very proud of that. And Rebecca, outside of council, she was very involved in things with the chamber, the charity director, this or that. She was very, very, very engaged, and she loved being on council. She loved what we're doing. She loved revitalization. She loved to talk about new things coming to town and all that sort of things. And she just enjoyed it. We probably spent more time talking at the bank about the town than we did about the bank. Don't tell my boss that. But she loved it. She loved you guys. And then, though, she had a nickname for me. Every now and then, I can't imagine why, but she wouldn't always vote the way I wanted her to. And I'd say, Rebecca, damn it, this is going to go on your review. And she'd say, Randy, ass. So, that was just ass. So when I think about Rebecca the person, and I called her Becky, and she hated that, just despised it. And again, I get the ass word. But she loved her family, she loved her mom and dad. She loved her children, Warsaw and Bergen. Bergen is just the apple of her eye. We're going to see Bergen a little later next weekend. But she loved just being with them. She loved going on little girl and daughter trips. She just came back from Miami, Florida with Bergen and had a great time. She was a sports fan. Can you believe it? Does anyone know what her favorite college team would be?
Virginia.
Yay.
UVA,
Mm.
big UVA. I'm a tech guy.
So my daughter graduated Tech, so every now and then I come here early and put something Virginia Tech on her desk.
She's
That's
smacking
what she called
off.
me. Yeah, so she loved her sports. I'm not a big sports guy. I just never had a lot of time to follow it, so I'm not real big into it. And she would be excited about a game that was coming up or a game that she had seen, and I guess I wouldn't pay the proper amount of attention. And she would say, "Are you a man or aren't you?" Loved animals, loved her doggies, loved the little dachshund bear. Loved her quite a bit, and quite a bit. So, those are the things I think about. And never one time did you hear me say that over the disease's name. I never mentioned the disease's name. Because the disease she had did not define her. It did not stop her from living the way she wanted to live. Rebecca did her thing. So I'm not going to remember her as a victim. I would say that she won. She fought. She won. Because she still was able to do what she wanted to do. So, I choose to remember her as the person that she was, the life she led, and the beautiful soul she still is. So that's my thing, that's my tribute to Miss Rebecca. I will miss her quite a bit. Anyone else have a funny story or
Well,
something they'd like to say?
first time I ever met her, she was, and some of y'all have heard me talk about this, she was in my class. You'd say, well, there's not that much difference in age. She was an aide for a special needs kid. And the kid was able to do stuff in the greenhouse. And it was the only class that boy went to that I really liked. So having an adult in that class, I didn't have to do discipline. She'd see kids playing around. They think she would just yell at them, tell them, you better stop that. You better behave and all that. But the kid liked it so much that he took the same class again the next year. I used to get on her all the time. I said, well, if you hadn't flunked the first year, you wouldn't be back in here, Rebecca, Give her a hard time about it. But Randy's right about her and UVA, and y'all know I'm a Virginia Tech guy, and I used to have a water thing that had Virginia Tech and all that, and I'd always point it so she could see it, here. And God, I hope I can get this out. I always used to give her a hard time about us beating them in football. Well, UVA beat Tech this year. And
They did.
I regret it. She never had the opportunity. I was dreading after the game was over with, and that was before I knew she was in the hospital and stuff. I said, oh my gosh, the next time I see her, she's going to give me a hard time about that. And she never had a chance to do that. She's always sat next to me at council. When she first started, it was over there where Bobby, and she was where Ralph is, and She'd always ask me questions about this and that. And I said, Rebecca, the best thing you do, this is what I do, I just listen to what everybody says, and then make your remarks, because if you get tangled up in there, you may not be heard. And y'all realize that's what she did. She'd hold it in, then when time came, she'd give her view. And I'm definitely going to miss her. I already have, quite a bit.
Anybody else?
I guess just almost a year ago, I realized, and I don't know how I found out, but that she was a big sports fan. She was a big Capitals fan. And we started off kind of small. I was like, oh, you watch the Caps, and how about Ovechkin? Did you see that hat trick last week? So then every week, or every month, once a month, Ovechkin got closer to the record, the goal record. She would get her face would light up, and she was like, did you see that game last night? He's getting close, he's getting close. And so I always look forward to seeing her in these meetings, and we would just immediately start talking about hockey. So she was a huge sports fan, but definitely a huge Capitals fan. I'll miss that. That's the one bond that we had together.
Nice.
Well, I know Rebecca had a really great upbringing. I have stories, some stories about her, but more about her dad, Marshall. Because during my time in high school, I'd worked during high school. I didn't play sports like I should have, I guess, but from the time I was in the 9th grade, I started working at Northern Neck News with Marshall Coggin. He always wanted to be known that he was the owner, editor, and publisher, which he was, and a very good one at that. And I just enjoyed working with the family. Rebecca would come up there on occasion. She was a lot younger then, but she would come up there on occasion and come in with her dad, and just real proud of her family and where they came from. And I just know that chair is going to be a hard one to fill, because I know I think it was, I don't know, can't remember if it was the last election or the one before that, but I do know that she was the top vote getter during that election. So she's popular with this town, popular with the community, and definitely very popular. It was popular with this council, and she will definitely be dearly missed. And we will carry on, hopefully, her position as long as we forever, as far as I can say.
Thank you, Rob.
A great lady.
Yeah,
Bethany, how are you?
I thought I just had a hard-headed dog. I apologize.
You were fine. We were just talking about Rebecca.
Very sad.
Anyone else like to say anything?
I would just say, Rebecca was one in a million, I think, on this council. She was voice of reason. I'm sure many people think of her and her family. I think you said in your Facebook post, she was Warsaw. I remember visiting as a child. Not from far away. I'm just from Westmoreland, but I remember seeing her, whether it be Warsaw Fest or whatever, and just thinking about how nice of a lady she was. And then getting older, and of course didn't go to Rappahannock, but I would see her kids at sporting events or whatever, and she was always positive. And one thing I know about Rebecca, everything she did with 100%. With her fight, everything. She, unless you knew, you wouldn't know. But you look at that picture, you can tell she's beautiful inside and out. And she, like you said, she loved her dog, loved her kids, and just a great person. I can't think of one negative thing to say, and I hope we can do something in honor of, or something, maybe in this room. We'll think about it, but she will be missed.
Anyone else?
The only time, I really did not know her well. I knew her more when she was like a little girl. We used to ride the school bus together,
Okay.
and that's when I knew her the
Okay.
most. Because I'm more with her brother Turner. We went to school together.
Well, the information I have right now, Is there anyone else that would like to say anything?
I didn't want you to put me on the spot, but I did want to say that Rebecca was very selfless. I had surgery in July, very minor, and of all the things she was going through, she made a point to check on me constantly. Are you okay? Send me a card, little jokes. That was that was really who she was, and she loved Christmastown. Sorry, she last year she grabbed my arm. She's like, "Can you believe it's Christmastown? We're in Warsaw." And I know I probably look silly for being upset, but she loved it. So I hope everyone can come this year.
So she's going to have a graveside service next Saturday, the 20th, at St. John's. It's going to be at 11 o'clock. Afterwards, about 12, we're going to have a reception for Rebecca here. The bank is going to take care of all the food and stuff, and Bergen, her daughter, and I'm sure some other family will be here. We're going to set some pictures up and then just have a good time remembering Rebecca here with her family and friends. So that'll be at 12. There's been several suggestions of how Jonathan might honor her. I think we have time to talk about that, so we'll definitely put that on our list of must-dos. Okay. All right. I will miss her. Moving to our public comment session. No one has signed up to speak. Is there anyone here that would like to speak? See, that's not you. You do not get to speak.
Yeah.
Moving to reports. Joseph will speak to it in his report, but we did check with the attorney when a elected official, councilman passes office. There is a very finite amount of time that we have to move forward to fill the seats. 45 days, Joseph?
Yeah, it is from the date of passing.
If we fail to do so, the court will step in and do it for us. So as much as I hated to see us having to post that recruitment, that's why. That's why. Okay, I'm going to stop talking and we're going to write to Joseph, the town manager's report. And we need something positive and uplifting, please.
I have a small blurb about Rebecca at the end, but I will try to be as positive as I can on a very gloomy day here. Item number one, we'll start off with something positive. It's about Christmastown, which is this Saturday. We're again pleased to present, this is our 5th annual Christmastown. And just for those, Missy honed in on that, but it was really Rebecca's idea. Really, we remember that. And she was shocked that in about a month and a half, we got our first one together and made it work. And so she was instrumental in that. That'll be this Saturday from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m., which will then be followed by the Warsaw Richmond County Main Street Program's annual Christmas Parade at 6. Right now, we have about 124 vendors. That includes food and just general vendors registered, several carnival rides, horse and carriage rides, train rides, live music, and much more. We're also installing a large heated tent in front of Relish to allow for their team to still participate with food and drinks during the event. For council members that wish to ride in a town vehicle, please arrive at Town Hall by no later than 5 p.m. We have the first 3 slots in the parade, so we'll be leading the parade, so please be here by no later than 5. We won't have the float this year, but we'll be riding in vehicles, so it'll be warm and cozy versus a float. We're fully staffed and prepared for another wonderful event and encourage all to attend. And again, that is free to all. And when I say free, that means free rides, not free food, but free rides and free entrance and all those sorts of things. Item number 2, economic development update. We had a very good meeting earlier today regarding a national distribution company locating in the Commerce Park. They have continued interest in Warsaw. We're continuing to work with our colleagues at the county to ensure we provide as seamless of a process as possible. We have also had further inquiries from a regional storage facility and will continue to work with them during their due diligence period.
and town staff have been in contact with potential restaurant operators regarding space in 74 Main, should that be the direction of council, with a particular emphasis on Mexican food, Latino food, those sorts of things, due to lack of existing restaurant in both the town and the county. Lastly, we worked with Carol and her staff at Relish to release both the grant funds and the loan funds as expeditiously as possible, and we wish them all the best as they continue to recover from their fire damage. And I want to thank Julia for helping me get those documents together so quickly. Item number 3, budget preparations. It's once again that time of year where we're beginning our budget preparations for FY26. Department heads are currently working on their capital improvement plan requests, and we will have those, or they'll have those turned into my office by close of business December 31st. Once those are returned, I will work to build a draft budget and a CIP plan for council's review. Item number 4, congressionally directed spending. We're currently working with Senator Kane's office to begin the application process for congressionally directed spending. These are appropriated funds each year that may assist with large items outside of our ability to finance. Applications are due by no later than mid-April, and we'll begin applying for funds to potentially purchase and rehabilitate the vacant VDOT facility on Main Street, again, should council choose to do so. Should the town surpass the 3,500 population mark in the coming years, we will be required by state code to maintain all town roads and streets, and will need a facility such as this. We'll continue to work on this project in the coming months, and we'll keep you updated as things progress. I do want to add a couple little things in here. I think at the committee meeting that happened earlier in the week, there's just a general question thrown out there about some mills tax and some various things. So I do want to add, I do have a list here. Item number 1, the daily, we have sent a notice of assessment of penalty to Mr. Smith, giving the total of mills taxes through June 30th, 2025. And we do have that spreadsheet available if y'all want to review that. The attorney is going to file a warrant in debt with the court for that. Item number 2, Mr. Moore, upon review of, this is for the revolving loan fund. It looks like Moore had a payment on 10/28/25, leaving a balance of $2,161.66. And we are going to go ahead and pursue collections for those funds as well. Item number 3, Old Rap and Andy Bill. Mills tax, we've reviewed the letter, Mr. Bill dated 10/03/2025 from the town to Mr. Bill, which spells out a payment schedule for him to catch up on overdue mills tax. There's a drafted warrant of debt that will be filed with the courts here shortly. And subsection B, IRF loan, the last loan statement we have dated is 9/16/25. We're going to send those updated figures over to them, but I think we'll probably be doing the same for that as well. So really at this point, we've just deferred all of those to the attorney, and they're filing those in the court system now to get us those funds as quickly as possible. A couple little things, not little, important things. I do want to send from the town and the council condolences to Jesse Scholl's family at the loss of his father. We're all thinking about you, and I know that was a tough time, and we want to send those condolences to you and your family, and we're thinking about y'all. My last little thing, I'll try my best to get through this. Councilmember Hubert, speaking as the town manager and representing our town staff, we want to send our most sincere condolences to Councilmember Hubert's family during this difficult time. We've all had shared many memories of her and stories of her and her quiet kindness when she would stop by our public works crew members and bring them drinks or food during waterline breaks, or would stop by town hall and drop off snacks for our staff, or dog and cat treats and toys for our pets. No matter the person, we each have a story that involves Rebecca and her kind spirit. She is greatly missed, and we can all agree that we are better off having known her. And then to Rebecca, we thank you for your service. Appreciate the kind and loving person that you were, and will always remember you as a brave and selfless person that always had the best interests of her hometown at heart. And with that, I conclude my report.
Thank you, Joseph. Council, we have any questions for our town manager?
That's a wonderful report, and thank you for that for Rebecca, and thank you for updating us on the taxes.
Yeah, no problem. We just got that in today, and I didn't want to be remiss and forget it. I want to, thank you.
I did have a question, and I think I forgot after that.
Yes, sir.
What is the current town population? I was looking at the 3,500 number, but what's the current number?
The official estimate, or the official number is like 1,800, but the population estimate, which is the American Community Survey. It's like the annual estimate the census does. It's 2,333, roughly. And so with the new apartments being built now, that's approximately 130 new people. If the subdivision comes in, that's hundreds more. So I think within the next 15 to 20 years, that's a long time off, but time flies. I've already been here 9 years, so, we want to try to get prepared.
You don't think the difference between those two numbers is the inmates at the jail, do you? Because at one time they counted them.
Used to. Now they don't anymore. They do count state and federal, but they don't count local anymore because they're transient. So no, even with that drop, we've organically grown a lot with the apartments. Yeah.
'Cause I know at one time it was a big problem, them counting them for certain things.
It's sort of
very
like
needed.
college campuses. Yeah, it is. It's difficult. Yeah. Used to be.
Chief Peterson.
Keep it short and sweet, and on a positive note. Report is in your binders if you have any questions, but positive note is Christmas Town this weekend. We are prepared to receive our approximately 15,000 visitors. So we're looking forward to that event. Just so everybody knows, we will be closing roads, Main Street from 360 all the way down to the post office at 8 a.m. sharp. So if you're coming down that way, work your way around it. We do have some support of other law enforcement agencies this weekend, so it's good, but we're fully staffed now, so we'll be able to handle the bulk of it with our Warsaw police officers. So we're ready to rock and roll.
All right.
Pending your questions.
For council members, you are able to park here at Town Hall. Just come down Belleville Lane, and Wade will be there, and he'll let you come on in. So,
All right. Thanks, sir.
thank you.
Director of Public Works.
Good evening. Start with the treatment plant. Our average daily influent flow for November was 175,500, a decrease of just 100 gallons from October. Maximum influent for November was 192,500, an increase of 2,200. The average effluent total nitrogen was 1.90 milligrams per liter. Also, the total phosphorus concentration was 0.07 milligrams per liter, both well within the limits of our permit. Staff did all winterization to the equipment. All that has been completed. Effluent samples for the month of November met all requirements as to our permit discharge limits. The water department, for the month of November, we are at a 3% water loss. We did have one water break there on Gordon Lane. Just a clean break on a 4-inch line, so we were able to get that fixed. We finished installing all pole-mounted decorations and lights on the tree there. And staff also finally got the new Warsaw banner hung on Main Street, both with the help of Northern Collection. Refuse department, for the month of October, town staff made 17 trips to the landfill, totaling 131 tons of trash. Lastly, the Public Works Maintenance staff assisted with Monday and Thursday residential trash pickup, decorated the bounds, town office, all the acorn lights, and just getting the town parking all straight for Saturday. So
There's a lot of work to that.
there's a lot of work to that. Hats off to those guys. And I do have two very small stories about Rebecca. I've known her a very long time with going to school with both her kids. They're a little older, but I do remember on the work side of things, we were down Quail Trail. They had just built that new house beside her, and we were there tapping the water line to serve that house. And she had come home for lunch and, saw her leave, and it had been 15 minutes or so later, here she comes back with 2 vanilla milkshakes for us, of course. And then the bank put on the car and truck show at Montrose Fall Festival. And I was there with my truck, and of course, they had, I guess, door prizes. You each got a ticket, and of course, my ticket wasn't called, but she made sure that I got a door prize. So, she was just always a very thoughtful person. never met a stranger. She did not ever meet a stranger, but she'll certainly be missed. So,
Thank you.
if any questions, that's all I have.
Jesse, we're with you with your dad.
Thank y'all.
I think I'd be remiss not to mention the loss of Jesse's dad.
Yeah.
Just a couple weeks ago. And our condolences still go out with you and your family too, Jesse.
Okay, committee reports. I know the Personnel Committee met.
Yes, we did. I think Julia sent you, by email today, a copy of the draft of the personnel policy, effective, it'll be effective January 1 of this coming year. The Personnel Committee met. First of all, I want to thank Julia. What council knows that she put many, many hours and much research into this.
Well done.
Very good job.
I mean, it made it so much easier for us. All I asked her is what changes or whatever people are asking for. And although we didn't agree with all the changes, we did make some changes in it. One of them deals with number of PTO days a year. Before, it was set up with 4 different categories, 0 to 2 years, 2 to 9 years, I think, 10 to something. And it just, if you've been here 2 to 9 years and none of that changes, you get the same amount as somebody too. We could see making it less time before it goes up, the number of days. As it turned out, we agreed that, we should do it with 5, and I think it turned out that in each one of those categories, they each got, there's 1 day added to it, no less than 1. Everybody went up some. I think we had, maybe the longest step got 2 days out of it, but those are people who have been here 16 years or more, in which we only have, 1 right now?
Right.
You tell me? That pertains to. So we made that change. The other change we made is the number of hours that the employees can keep or save at the end of each year. Presently, it was 120 days, 120 hours, I'm sorry, 120 hours. And the committee decided, not going to say consensus, but decided we'd go up to 160 hours that they could save up to. They cannot keep any more than that, except for those that have more than that already. I think it would.
One employee that's grandfathered.
Right, it's grandfathered in on it. And anything above that, they'll lose if they don't use it. Those are the changes that are made to what was presented, or what we have. And, Mr. Mayor, unless somebody, like I said, here's what it is. I told her not that, she was gonna produce one for everybody.
If you wanted me to, I would have.
And I said,
I don't want one.
I said, I don't think Gregory Pack has cut enough trees down for us. So let's just send it to him, and if anybody wants to read it, wants to see it, there's a copy right here, okay?
For reference,
Yeah, but basically, everything is what was before, it's just more organized, and you can, get to, it's set in stone. There's some things that, some changes you made that we didn't have we couldn't make a choice on because our lawyers told us they had to be made certain ways. So, being said, Mr. Mayor, at this time I'd like to make a motion that the town adopt this new updated personal policy to be effective 1/1/2026.
Okay. Council, you heard our Vice Mayor, you heard the recommendation. Does anyone have any questions? Do we want to postpone the vote, or are we comfortable with taking action tonight? I'm looking over for Rebecca. Oh, my Lord.
I'm comfortable taking action.
All right. Well, we have a recommendation.
Second.
We have a motion. We have a second.
Second.
All those in favor, aye. Aye. Those opposed? Okay.
Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it's done. It's done.
Thank you, Julie.
Good job again, seriously, that's good work.
Thank you all.
Daphne, I don't believe the planning commission met? No, okay, very good. Northern Neck Regional Jail Report, Mr. Vice Mayor.
Get to go again.
Back on stage.
Yeah, we just met yesterday afternoon. It was a busy day for meetings. Yeah, we met yesterday. We didn't have a whole lot on the agenda. One of the things we had, the attorney for the jail was there to answer some questions that came up at the previous meeting. We had gentleman during public comments in the previous meeting, a little upset that his remarks on the public comments weren't part of the minutes, and the minutes weren't showing up online, and he was trying to tell us that we have to have them online. It's a law. Well, our attorney came back and said because we're a regional group, that's not true. We have to hear, locals and that type of thing. Because we're regional, it's not required. Now, what we do make available, and it should be online if you go there now, I think, is that anybody requests the minutes of our meetings, it can be provided to them, no cost. So he made that, that was the first thing we had. Then we had a program done by is it Sergeant Luna? What's his?
No, he's Major Lou.
Major Luna, okay, he and Jonathan, are the two main ones outside the main administration there. And he gave us a update on, or a program about the Weekender program, okay? Now, you might think, what's the Weekender program? The Weekender program is for those prisoners or inmates who, by the judge, is given the opportunity to just be there on weekends or certain days each week. And the jail over there does provide for that. And he told us, some of the things, they're usually available for somebody who either has a medical problem or, works during the week, and, it's for minor things, okay? You're not gonna have felons, not show up whenever they want. It's very strict, they gotta be there at a certain time. Each time they're supposed to come there, and they are separated from the rest of them, because they go in and out. There's a couple of things that could have. One of them, they could voluntarily get involved with some of the other prisoners, but the worst thing would be one of the prisoners threatening them, and you're going to do this and bring something back in the next time you come and stuff. So they're separated from it, and I think he said you could have up to about 10 people, and without it being too much of a problem. But there is a lot of risk of doing that, obviously, when they come in. And you say 10, that sounds like a lot, but there's 4 counties that they come from. There's no federal prisoners doing that. It's just the local ones. Okay, and I guess that's about it. So,
All right. Do we have any questions for our Vice Mayor? All right, let's move along. Old business project updates. What's new with the well project?
Yes, so at this time, I know at the last meeting we stated that we would have an update. We do sort of have one. We received notification from VDH that due to budget negotiations and those sorts of things at the federal level, they still had not rendered a decision yet, but to please be on the lookout that they were still working on that. I have reached out to Senator Kane's office, who's been working with us about the VDOT facility, to see if they can do anything to help us with the well replacement as well. So we're sort of waiting on VDH and maybe working towards some congressional appropriations to assist as well.
All right. Any questions on the well replacement? DHCD housing project.
Yeah, we've made a lot of progress on the housing project. There's, the house on Meadowbrook is in place. And the lot here on Belleville for the complete rebuild is is ready for a new home. All the rehab houses, the 3 that we had, those are all complete at this time. So we've made a lot of progress moving forward. Hopefully, I'm hoping not too much after the new year, everyone will be in their new homes, so.
All right. Council, any questions about the housing project? Basketball court update.
I'll be brief on this. So we do have a signed proposal. The RCC did sign the $88,000 and some change proposal for the basketball courts. They will be, they're still working out whether they'll be the conduit or the county will be, but long story short, they're saying construction should start this spring, early spring they will mill up what's there to provide a really nice base for the new basketball courts. We've already worked at the college. They're going to install, they have existing poles. They're just going to put lights on that side. So we'll have lights there, bleachers. We're going to provide some benches that we have left over for folks to sit down. I know the chief's working on a grant to put the police call box in between the tennis facility and the basketball court. So I think it's going to be a really nice facility over there, and appreciate y'all working with that. It will be structured, I think, a 5-year period. So we'll just probably make $5,000 contributions like we did with the tennis courts.
All right. Councilman English, good job on that idea.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good job, y'all executing it.
All right. 74 Main Street discussion.
Yes, so we just put the plans, or for the building in here, just for y'all to look at. I know I had it written down on my agenda for last month to go ahead and schedule a work session in January for this. So I wanted just to put that on there for you all to maybe look at some dates, or if you want me to send out an email in lieu of doing this now, I could do that as well, for just to workshop some ideas on the building.
Well, so going back to what we've talked about the past couple of months, we're aware of the contractor not fulfilling his role. We're having to put this out to rebid, and the bones of the building really is not going to change whether we keep it for a community center or decide some other use. So the idea I brought up was, let's put a work session on the calendar and sit in here and talk about it and either reaffirm our commitment for a community center or not. And I think that would be a healthy exercise to go through. So let me ask you all a question. Do you prefer a daytime meeting, something in the afternoon? Do we prefer something after 5?
And we have to have someone, we could do it this way, we have to have someone appointed for Councilmember Hubert's seat by the 15th, which is the 3rd Thursday. You have a meeting on the 8th, and we have to announce the names of the interested parties by law for that seat. So our attorney stated, as long as it's the 15th or before, in between the 8th and the 15th, we're okay. So, I mean, we could have a meeting on the 15th, whatever y'all want, but we could probably do both of those things in the same meeting.
So you're saying have a work session on the 15th, a regular?
It'd be a special called meeting to discuss 74 Main and to appoint somebody to Councilmember Hubert's position. Yeah.
All right. That sound doable? 6 o'clock, all right? Is that good?
On the 15th? Okay.
And this is just a work session.
It'd be a special called meeting, because there will be.
Special called meeting.
Yeah, action for her, yeah.
What day of the week is that?
Yeah,
So council, that'll need to be in form of a motion, so.
yeah, yeah.
Would someone like to make a motion? We have a special meeting on the 15th at 6 o'clock to address the 74 Main project and the vacant council seat of former Council Lady Hubert.
I will make that motion that we proceed with that plan.
We have a second?
Second.
All those in favor, aye. Aye. Those opposed? All right, Joseph, you'll make sure we're advertised correctly and all that, and you'll remind us, because I'll probably be the one that forgets.
Sure, well, thank you.
And when we go to that meeting, y'all, really put your creative hats on. I mean, we may say that community center is what we need to do, and that's it. But we also we might not. So, okay. Moving on to new business. Impact analysis, proposed roads place development.
Yes, so we have received this, and as of October 24th, I wanted to go ahead and bring this to you all to review. It's a 48-page impact analysis regarding fiscal impacts of the proposed roads place development to the town of Warsaw. We can go through the minutia of it, but the executive summary really is, at full build-out, direct impacts to annual revenues will be $450,600. Direct impacts of annual costs will be $277,800. And, is that right? Yes, I'm sorry, 377, my bad. And then, so total net benefit will be $72,800. And this is, this encompasses water and sewer payments, real estate, personal property, utility billing, meals tax for these folks that go out to eat based off of current population and household size. I mean, you could go through, and he went through this whole algorithm of things. Direct financial impacts, it is at negative $57,390, but when you add impacts off-site, on-site of like meals tax, sales tax, all of those things, then that does put you to a net positive at full build-out of $72,800. There's also one little discrepancy in here. He was not aware, which we did reiterate to him later on, that council did vote to waive half of the water and sewer connection fees. So I think we'll only collect $510,000 total for at full build-out for water and sewer connection fees. But right now, it's about a total positive net impact at full build-out of $72,800.
Does that impact report, what is the time frame to total build out are they using? What's the time frame? 5 years, 3 years, 4 years, 6 years?
I don't know that they did that. They just said at full build-out. I can delve into that. I know the total cost of the development is probably the largest in town history, $106.5 million at full build-out for the facility. I mean, that's a large number. I can look into that. I'm sorry, I don't know that off the top of my head.
What's the top 2 or 3 things you take away from that report?
I think it's hard to measure an enigmatic number in a way. We don't really know how many times resident A will go to Espresso and eat or to Hardee's and eat. So I think the direct fiscal impacts being negative $57,000 and some dollars is worrisome. However, I think it would be relatively flippant to add hundreds of new residents and not add any secondary or tertiary positive impacts. So I do think that this company's done a very good job of delving into that, and I do think that their number is relatively accurate. Also, there is like an economies of scale approach that we need to look at, that we have a $10-15 million